The United States Constitution grants us a lot of freedoms. We have the freedom of speech, religion, the press, freedom to assemble, and freedom to own firearms. We also have the freedom to go to court if we are ever accused of crimes. I'm curious, but in school I can't learn things I want to unless I want to learn about the taught subjects. My teacher calls this the curriculum. I think having a curriculum is good, but if you want to or must do something that's not in the curriculum, you'll have to learn how to do it by yourself. I've learned that the curriculum is created only by adults with no suggestions from students. Because some students have never been asked what's important to them, they don't develop a love of learning. Instead of wanting to go to school, the truth is they feel like they must. I'd like to talk to you about a new freedom, the freedom of education. Imagine a world where kids wanted to stay for more days in school. What if people craved education as much as a swimmer craves a pool on a hot day? Freedom of learning is where you learn what you want to learn. Standard education should still be taught, though it's just a bit of freedom of education to make it more fun for the kids. Here's what I mean. I am fascinated with many topics. I am intrigued with early 20th century history. Because I am a good reader, I spend my evenings reading Tolkien's Lord of the Rings or about the Napoleonic Wars. You will not find this in a 4th grade curriculum. I need something different to feel happy when I'm learning. And the challenge is, only I know what I'm passionate about. I realize my peers are passionate about different things than I am. However, when I learn about things I enjoy, I learn the curriculum quicker because I am more excited and motivated to learn. I have friends that have passions too. Some of their passions are football, crochet, dance, sewing, and horseback riding. None of those topics are in the curriculum. However, what if students were granted a part of a day where they could learn what they want to learn? How would that change how students feel about school? Each night, I am assigned nightly reading. I do get to choose what I want to read about. Most people would just consider this reading books. However, I made a deal with my teacher because some days I want to learn about something different. For example, one day the term transcendentalism came up. I felt like I had to learn about it, and I was given the educational freedom to replace my nightly reading with an investigation. Another time Jupiter, another time Makemake, and finally one time Pluto. You might not know what Makemake is. It is a dwarf planet on the outside of the solar system. I have had time to learn about it because I wanted to learn about it, and so my homework has changed to meet what I wanted to learn. I know about it because I wanted to replace my nightly reading with an investigation. The truth is, I can't be happy when I don't learn what I want to learn. Educational freedom means this. I am capable to learn what I want to without people saying I am incorrect for wanting to learn about that. This system might scare some teachers because teachers want to keep teaching from the curriculum. However, when I have educational freedom, I learn the curriculum quicker, which ironically allows me more time in the day to acquire what I want to learn. If educational freedom is to become reality, we need our teachers to become more observant and patient, because figuring out what a person is passionate about takes time. I do acknowledge this will affect teachers' time commitment in a way that they'll need to teach everybody's individual interests. However, I believe teachers are good people and they will rise to the occasion. Lastly, I realize that a period in the day will have to be designated. For some teachers, this will be a leap of faith because they have a lot of curricula to teach. However, I would argue if students were granted a part of the day to learn what they want to learn, they would learn the curriculum quicker. Educational freedom should begin in kindergarten. Why? Because if you start early, it becomes a habit. Let's change the world and create a system that empowers all people to take control of their education. I challenge you all to consider educational freedom. Thank you.